the Israeli government is openly calling for ethnic cleansing as a part of the current ceasefire negotiations. They want to reduce all of the residents of Gaza, from their ancestral land, a move that they say would be voluntary, but clearly has been engineered for decades, and most recently by mass destruction, killing, forced starvation, and an almost total media blackout. Meanwhile, the US, instead of condemning and doing all we can to stop this nightmare, we continue to supply weapons and political cover for it to continue. And as a recent UN report shows, arms manufacturers, construction companies, extractive and service industries, banks, pension funds, insurers, universities, and charities have all profited from Israel's economy of illegal occupation, apartheid, and now genocide. The US does not use its resource or technology to care for people or to help create the conditions where we can all thrive. We use them to carry out genocide, to build walls between us and our neighbors, to terrorize immigrant families who have been working and living in this country for decades. We defund life-affirming care to our trans brothers and sisters. We cut millions of people off of health care and food assistance, impacting the most vulnerable, especially the disabled community. 86% of people with disabilities and older adults. At the same time, we give billions in tax cuts to breaks to the wealthy. We increase the military budget to unprecedented levels, including hundreds of millions, hundreds of billions, maybe more, to our very own, quote, Golden Dome, allegedly going to be used to protect us and secure our freedom. When we could all go on and share more stories of how grotesque our society has become in these times, how little it values life, how isolated and divided it has made us. Things are, in a word, not two words, not good. But we must not shy away ever from these realities. People are hurting, and we must continue to cry out about the pain and injustice of our people, and we must challenge the sick theology that supports it, because we know God moves when the people cry out. As it says in Exodus chapter 3, verse 6, I have marked well the plight of my people in Egypt and have heeded their outcry because of their taskmasters. Yes, I am mindful of their sufferings. But we also know that God is already moving in us and through us in the struggles of the people who refuse this world of violence and domination, to those stepping up to stop our immigrant neighbor from being harassed and kidnapped, through the 60,000 volunteers who hit the streets in New York City to support a candidate that called for no more billionaires, free childcare, and an end to genocide, to the 400 people who came out in the very red town outside of Cleveland called Chardon, Ohio, in the rain to participate in the last No Kings protest. God is moving through those joining tenants unions and the nonviolent Medicaid army, and those converting their churches into health clinics, or those who hear and help us sing songs of resistance, through those bringing people together for community meals and then growing those gatherings into a hub for organizing and spiritual care, or through those joining the sacred runs of the Apache, that seek to defend our sacred spaces and call us back to right relationship with God and creation, and through the countless other ways that people are being compelled, being moved by a loving and compassionate and just spirit to resist a world that violates and degrades life, that impoverishes people and proclaims peace when there is no peace. In this season of Jubilee, we lift all of this up, and we do it not just to get one person out of office. We know this system was killing our people and funding a genocide and putting 140 million people in poverty long before Trump. Trump has to go, but we cannot stop. We must not stop there. We need the whole system to come down. We need what King called the edifice that produces poverty and also billionaires to come down. And the only way we will get there is together. When our struggles unite, the forces that create misery and suffering and lies, that cry peace when there is no peace. We do this, we get together by getting organized, of course, by developing as leaders, through action, through study, through compassion, through permanently organized community, by being clear about our enemy, being sophisticated in our strategy, disciplined in our actions, and perhaps most critically, by recalling that spirit at the core of our struggle. Not the spirit that confuses or divides, that cares for these lives over those, but that seeks peace through, or not the spirit that or the so-called spirit that seeks peace through violence and security, through hate and exclusion. We're talking about the spirit that moved in bringing the mixed multitude together to get out from under the tyranny of Pharaoh, or the spirit that brought the poor together in the backwater towns around the Sea of Galilee to resist the Roman Empire. Or that spirit that helped build a mighty abolition movement in the US, or the industrial labor movement, or the Black freedom struggle, or abundant life for all is possible, and it is time for Jubilee, and we are the ones we've been waiting for.